Ulrich Brueckner in Berlin. Good to speak to you. Help us understand, Ulrich, the context for this shooting. I just spoke to our diplomatic correspondent. He said, you know, talking about the rise in anti-Muslim rhetoric there. I've spoken to another analyst who said the language of hate in Germany is the problem. Would you agree?
Well, I think it is, first of all, a very terrible day for Germany when we look at what happened. Germans tend to see terrorist attacks and victims of that scale outside Germany, and the fact that it happens within our country and in our neighborhood, in something that is considered a rich part of Germany with a high percentage of foreigners who used to live peacefully together, is a tremendous shock to everyone, which does not only shake the life of people in Hanau, but everywhere. Merkel changed her schedule, the Minister of the Interior traveled to Hesse, and we have discussions everywhere to reflect on what does it mean. At the same time, I think it would be very tempting and very short-sighted to simplify a single situation and generalize it in combining something like how many refugees came to Germany, how many guest workers live in Germany, or how many people of whatever difference from what is assumed to be a German norm live in this country. It's very tempting to instrumentalize it for whatever purposes, but in my understanding, it's way too early to use a single case and turn it into something. This proves that Germany becomes more Islamophobic or is xenophobic as such, or even is destabilized.
And what do you think will be done to make so many people from the Turkish community feel safe now?
Well, this is not an attack against the Turkish community. A man who is very open to conspiracy theories went to 2 shisha bars and killed people that he projected to belong to another group of society than how he sees himself. This is, from all the bits and pieces of news that I've seen so far, the picture. Whether he acted alone, whether he acted out of xenophobia in general, whether it's motivated by Islamophobic ideas, I don't know. I even have not seen the letter that he wrote before he assumingly committed suicide. So Turks in Germany, or foreigners, or people with a migration background are as safe in this country as I am, and the country is stable, committed to the rule of law. We have a police system, we have intelligence in place. This has high priority. You find it everywhere in German society and political institutions, and there is no assumption that anything could not address this case in the way it needs to be addressed.
And tell us, how strict are gun laws in Germany?
Well, we come from a totalitarian past. 75 years ago, Nazi Germany ended, and ever since, Westernizing the Federal Republic of Germany also included a very strict understanding of what is the monopoly of power, which is in the hand of the state. So we are always shocked when we see situations like in the United States, in Columbine or elsewhere, where individuals, because it's so easy to have a gun, do terrible things to others and innocent people in particular. In Germany, it's very difficult to get a license for a gun. From what I read about the gunman, he had a license. I don't know what exactly that implied, what kind of gun, because there are different stages, what is legal and what is not. But it is difficult to get a license to protect oneself. This is not the understanding of citizens in the Federal Republic. But at the same time, we see a rising number of guns in private households when we only look at the statistics. These are not military weapons and these are not automatic guns, but this general feeling of, I don't know if I'm safe or if the police takes sufficient care of myself, and therefore I should rather find ways to protect myself. This is a sentiment that is rising. which somehow is independently from the crime statistics, because they are going down. And this was something our Law and Order Minister of Home Affairs had to commit when he took over in 2017, that 10% decline is what crime statistics prove.
And I'm concerned because last week there were reports that Muslim communities in Germany were asking for more police protection because there were reports that there was an arrest of members of a right-wing extremist group that were believed to be plotting attacks against mosques similar to the ones that were seen in New Zealand. How concerning is this? What measures are being taken to stop this?
Well, it is a very tricky line of argumentation. If we now come up and transform Germany into a police state and have police officers or paramilitarian officers like what you see in France, where people hold machine guns to present something like a symbolic action of the state is present and protects its citizen, a man with a machine gun doesn't protect civil life. This is just a symbolic action. So by responding to anything that could shake the open society, we give up individual freedoms and cover the country with CCTV and more intelligence and restrictions of freedom rights in the name of protecting the country. This is exactly what the right-wing extremists have in mind and what terrorism tries to do in attacking the open society. This should not happen, and we should be very careful in sacrificing freedom rights as an immediate response to something like the terrible act that happened yesterday.
Ulrich Brueckner, thank you very much for giving us your analysis from Berlin on this very sad day. Thank you.